a lot of characters in Marvel 2 were kind of based on how much like screen space they could control.
Yeah.
As far as the projectile heavy characters, and are you disappointed that Morgan is the only one that does it, or do you just hate like keep away characters? Would you rather have like would you rather just all be rushed down? Just forget this.
No. No, man. I really, in fact, I actually loved the fact that Sentinel he controlled so much space, and he had rush down options, but versus a Magneto, it was a runaway fight, you know, and I loved that tug of war. You know, I felt like Marvel 3 had like a perfect tug of war. You know, I think there was Magneto who was crazily rushing down, and Sentinel was crazy runaway in that matchup. And so then you had to try your hardest to try to get in, and that to me was one of the most entertaining things in the world, is trying to find out clever ways of tricking him to commit to something that I haven't done and get in that mental game. That's it was very valuable, and I think that's why the lifespan of Marvel 2 lasted so long. So I think in the Morgan fight, because right now it's so ridiculous because no one's able to beat it really consistently.
Right.
I think right now people are instead kind of angry, like, oh, it's just cheap, and I think once people learn to deal with it, then it's going to be like, man, it's not as cheap at all.
You know what I think half of it is? And this just happens in almost every game, is that someone is very dominant with a certain character or team, but he is like the only one playing that character. So like literally the first time you go up against that like matchup is against the best guy playing that matchup, right?
Yeah.
So like like if you don't have a good Morgan Doom player around you, the first time you're gonna come across it is against Chris G. Good luck learning mid match, so
yeah.
Yeah, I understand what you mean there.
And furthermore, he's actually solid. He played.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like Chris
G
is good, plus the very difficult character combo. It's like it's double-edged sword there.
Yeah, it's really bad. I think, and I think that's a big portion of the problem. But as more Morgan Dooms happen, because people are slowly starting to believe the lie, they're all buying the Kool-Aid, and it's like, yo, man, Morgan Doom is unbeatable. And it's like, well, most of the time, like 90% of the time, when there's a Morgan Doom in a tournament, if it's not Chris G, they're not going to make it very far, right?
Right.
It's like, but in their mind, it's like, no, but the character's cheap. That guy's bad. It's like, oh, it can't be that the character's all right and that this dude's good. You know what I mean? So I think eventually, there's going to be more Morgan Dooms, and then people learn to fight it, because Ducto wasn't the only Spiral Sentinel, and I don't think Clockwork
that's true.
Strat Doom. Eventually, more players did it, and we learned the matchup better, and then it's like, you know what? Now it's dropped down in tiers, and guess what? The tiers that we had from the beginning, Magneto, Cable being OP, Storm being really good, and Magneto, and once Fastfly was discovered, Fastfly and Unfly, Sentinel being really good, like those tiers, just like, they got more and more defined.
So it seems like a team like Chris G's is only that good if you can be optimal at it almost.
Yes.
If you're not optimal at utilizing the team, then you probably gonna have a hard time.
For sure. I think it's actually, because of just the amount of execution and how many fireballs motions you're doing. To do a double fireball, it's there's 4 motions. You're doing a fireball motion, a backwards fireball motion to fly, a fireball motion, a backwards fireball motion to unfly, and then most of the time dashing.
Right. It's kind of tedious actually.
Yeah.
At the same time you got to watch out for like Magneto trying to weave through. So I understand what you mean. Push blocking. This goes along with the other stuff that I was talking about as far as movement and understanding how what role assists play in this game. Is there like a specific quote unquote art to push blocking? Because I noticed that when I push block stuff, if I push block, like let's say a hit before, I'll be able to punish the move that comes after. Like let's say Hulk's like his charge, you know what I'm talking about? The 2-1-2.
Yeah.
Like you have to, if you push block that a certain way, it's much easier to punish. Like, is there a lot of that in Marvel, or is it just
Yes.
like for the most part, it's just like get off me, let me call my assistant, get my stuff going.
No. That's. I mean, as it was in Marvel 2, and I'm so glad it's very much undiscovered right now in Marvel 3, or else this game would be even more broken. Which this game has so much life in it. Like, there's so many things that people will start to
every
apply.
time I go in training mode and I suck, I'm like, dude, I feel like this game has a lot of like just life as far as new stuff, new combos, new character combinations.
Yes. For sure, and guard canceling is like huge. You see it a lot in the air, especially when someone knows a matchup, and then you also see it. Well, you can do it like to punish things like you said that aren't punishable typically. I use it against Akuma's Tatsu.
Right. What's funny is I didn't even know I was doing that, and that's how I punish Akuma's Tatsu. Right. That's so funny.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
That's like the only way it's punishable. And then, like you said, Hulk, it helps you get out of a situation. The exact same thing applies to Zero's lockdown, because at one point, when he calls a clone and he's doing double Rangeki and Fireball, that would be a true block string, but it's actually escapable because of delayed push block, because of guard canceling. And same, it's a really advanced tactic.
What do you mean? What do you mean guard canceling as opposed to push blocking?
Oh man, I hope I don't lose everyone with this. I'm gonna try to explain it in as layman as possible.
Okay.
Basically, when you push block when you push block, you're gonna be in block stun.
Right.
Well, you'll only be in block stun for a specific finite number of frames, and then after the push block is over, for like a frame or two, I don't know the exact timing, but maybe we'll say for like 2 frames, you're in a neutral state where you're not where your character has 0 block stun.
Okay.
Now you can hold back and go right back into block stun, or you can do things with that. So for instance,
interesting. Okay.
I'm just gonna make up some random move, right?
No, okay,
There's
that's fine.
Random bionic arm, right? All right, and we're gonna assume maybe bionic arm stuns you for 50 frames, okay?
Right.
Now, if you push block the bionic arm, but the push block animation only stuns you for 25 frames, right?
Okay.
So then you can push block the very first frame of bionic arm, and instead of being stunned for 50 frames, you'll only be stunned for 25 frames. So then you recover.
Okay, so it's almost like a just defend if you've played CVS2 or something like that. Okay, I understand what you mean.
But and that applies to strings. So for instance, say someone's doing a crouching light, medium, heavy with Magneto. If you push block the light, and you're stuck in that push block for that guaranteed time. But then as soon as that heavy hits you, that window is done. So say like Magneto does light, medium, heavy, and then the heavy comes on like frame 22. Then you are going to recover 3 frames later, and that means now I'm free to punish you.
Okay.
Which allows for certain things like Spencer. He can go push block into bionic arm. He can go push block and then bionic arm in the middle of a string, which would normally be through block string. Or I remember there was a video released a long time ago of Dormammu push blocking in the middle of a proton cannon.
Okay.
And then in the middle of the proton cannon, he just goes push block and then does his level 3 super.
Okay. So wow. Okay, I understand the concept. Okay, so that's wow. Okay.
Now those are like really specific uses of it.
No, I understand, but I understand the potential of it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. People will start mastering that, because that's what happened with Marvel 2. If you remember, Sentinel would, if it wasn't for guard cancel, crouching fears, rocket punch into Hyper Sentinel Force was a true block string, and you would be chipped for 5 whole meters. You know what I mean? And now because of guard canceling, it was like that's not even 1 true string. You're gonna push block and then super jump in between the drones, and you're out.
Okay, so that's okay. I understand. Okay, so now how about when people push block you? So like, I don't know if this is an actual thing or what, or if I'm just like a weirdo. I'll jump in with, like, let's say Hulk's S. They block it and they push block it. Now the second I touch the ground, my initial reaction, because I want to maul them, is like to jump back at them. And it's almost like, even though they push block me in the air, the second I touch the ground, like, I'm able to jump again. The push block, I guess because I'm in the air and they push block me, but if I touch the ground, the push block is like negated, I guess, essentially. Is that how
Yes.
Okay. So that's okay.
Now there are things that they can do. It gets really crazy. And I haven't picked it apart 100%. But I'm pretty sure that if someone push blocks an air move, and they do a delayed push block so that the push block happens once you touch the ground and you jump, then you'll see sometimes that your character will fly like almost full screen, like with
Dude,
that push
I've done
block.
weird stuff like that. Where they almost carry momentum, like the inertia of it would just like kind of carry them off.
Yeah.
Weird things like that. Okay, weird.
Yeah. And there is a skill, and there's a mini game in push blocking in and of itself, because you can negate push blocking by dashing. And so like a lot of times, you know, I will do an attack specifically because I want you to push block so that I can
You're
dash
baiting
in
them
and
into push block. Okay.
Yeah, and so then they're stuck. Like they're stuck. Like I'm, you know, that for that whatever that number is, whatever that time is, you're stuck blocking. You know, and so then, yeah, I'm gonna dash cancel it. Like I'm gonna dash, and then that dash negates the push block, and then I'm back in your face, and then you have to take my mix up because you're stuck in a push block. So in the same way, then you know people can do their, you know, they can push block really late. So then it's like, you know, my dash isn't negating it, or you know, they don't push block at all, and then it's like I'm waiting for the push block and it doesn't happen. So then they get their mix up, and so there's a lot of.
Okay, you know, so let me ask you this: is someone that's really good at push blocking really hard to open up?
It's still never going to be hard to open up. Because
of what, assists?
Or just because of dash canceling and stuff. Like you're not going to guess right 100% of the time because I mix it up, and so yeah, no matter what, you're still going to get bopped eventually. That's how I feel. Like
I totally understand. I mean, I kind of feel the same way in 3S. If they're trying to exploit something, you know, there's still the other side to it where I can exploit the same thing they're trying to exploit against me. Okay. Damn, dude, this is now I just want to like think and talk about Marvel. No, but I really enjoy Marvel because it feels like, the same appeal as Third Strike. It feels like at any point in time I can be a threat to the other person.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about Marvel. It's like, almost, there's so many characters, even though they're on the other side of the screen, they're still a threat. And just the very fact that you have a character behind you, you know, you super into whatever, something that powers yourself up, and then you have like a beam super behind you, you know, punishing the guy from the other screen. Like there's just so many times where you're vulnerable, that I feel that this game, at any time you could lose one character, two character, with like a small hole, and that's the part I really like about Marvel. One more thing before we get out of here. Do you feel, because this is something I think about a lot, do you feel that people are not punishing assists? Like they're letting people get away with calling assists too blatantly. Like I feel like there could be teams that are built around just kind of avoiding the point character, and any time an assist is called, they just blow up the assist every time. You know, like I feel like something like that could possibly work if you were good enough. But do you feel that assists need to be bopped way often, or is it just hard because of how people protect their assists?
No, that's definitely, it needs to happen more, and I get frustrated with myself so often when I don't. It's just because I've developed this one-track mind with Marvel. Like I'm supposed to kill the point character with one hit.
You're not even paying attention to the assist as far as damaging. You're just avoiding that assist and going for the point character or something.
Yeah, it's a one-track mind, and I remember in Marvel 2, there were a bunch of matchups where, like for example, MSP on MSP, my goal wasn't even to hit Magneto. My goal was, I'm going to bait out your Psylocke assist and then do like a damaging combo to her, and I'm going to do it twice to you, and then at that point, you can no longer call her anymore, and now I'm going to rush your face in.
Right.
You know what I mean? But certain players are doing it. Name dropping right quick, AGE.Fanatiq, if you notice when he plays, you know, he'll wait for you, if you watch the Deus Ex set. He was just waiting for him to call his assist, and then once he did, he would do his team hyper combo, bionic arm with drones, and then the assist would die. And it's like, he didn't care about the point care. Once he got 2 meters, if he got 2 meters during neutral game, then he would just wait for the assist, and then it's like, now you're dead. And he does that to me, and it's a frustrating, stupid tool, but it works. I think it's the direction the game should go.
Right, and that's kind of where I like the idea I got that from is because, like, honestly, I can't really play any character except for Taskmaster, and Taskmaster is to me it's very Street Fighter like, so that's why I can actually play him. But there's been so many times where I've only had Taskmaster left, and I would literally dash up and block and just wait for the assist to be called. Error, and then I would just arrows, and then X Factor arrows, and then the guy would be sitting there blocking while his assist dies. So I'm not even good. I mean, I can only imagine if someone actually focuses on, making that kind of their thing or their goal. But alright, well, cool, man. It's always awesome to talk to you and run into you. Hopefully I can get out of Arizona soon and move back to California.
For sure.
So, yeah. No, go ahead. Say whatever you want.
Quick. The push block thing that I was talking about, there is a finite number for it, and it's exactly 21 frames. Okay. So if you push block attack, 21 frames after you push block, you will be at a neutral state.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm geeking out, but yeah, that's
no, anything helps.
Always a pleasure to talk to you. You seem like you have a really hungry mind for Marvel.
Dude, I mean, I haven't it's kind of cool because I'm all of a sudden really interested in Marvel and Street Fighter Cross Tekken all of a sudden right now, and I haven't really liked a game since Third Strike. So it's kind of cool to be hungry about games again. So but anyway, yeah, that's kind of why I'm doing this. Want to talk to people that know what they're doing, and you're one of them. So it's a pleasure to say what's up. And they're saving 15%. What are they doing?
Alright, I'm gonna do it. So, everyone already knows you can go to pdp.com and use the promo code AGE.Fanatiq and save 15% on everything in the store. And they got I can't say literally, but they got a lot of things that you would need, from USB cords, which I don't think anyone, maybe not USB, HDMI cables, which I don't very many have not enough of. They have joysticks that they'll be having soon. Of course, controllers. The amazing Afterglow headset, which I'm pretty sure everybody who has tried it so far has liked. So just all of that stuff, we'll just browse the site and use it. Yeah, or you could save 15% if you go to pdp.com and type UMvC3, and you could. I'm just kidding. Oh, please stop. Alright, I'm done. Alright, man. I'll see you later, dude. Peace. Alright, later.